Maydwell in 5 is a weekly microlearning podcast hosted by Jonathan Maydwell, a learning and development strategist with over 15 years of experience helping people and organizations grow. Each 5-minute episode explores one focused idea across learning, leadership, and human growth, blending real stories, reflection, and actionable insight. Rooted in the belief that learning is about coming home to yourself, the show invites listeners to pause, think, and reconnect with purpose, people, and data that actually matters. It's a space for curiosity, clarity, and continuous growth, one reflection at a time. Growth rarely collapses at the starting line. It falters in the middle, the stretch where clarity thins, confidence wavers, and the distance between effort and outcome feels longest. In discussions across L&D, this pattern shows up often. Early excitement gives way to uncertainty once people move past initial enthusiasm and enter the slower, more reflective part of development. In that space, something very human happens. People begin questioning themselves, not their talent, but their direction, their purpose, their belonging. This is where internal work matters. The quality of our learning environments is shaped not only by curriculum or design, but by the emotional steadiness we bring to the room, our ability to see people clearly, respond with intention, and create spaces where missteps are safe and reflection is normal. The middle mile demands a different kind of leadership. Less performance, more presence. Less pressure, more clarity. Less perfection, more humanity. I think back to a moment early in my teaching career. The school year was only a few weeks in, and the initial excitement had already faded. My students were behind academically, restless behaviorally, and the weight of the work felt heavier each day. But the lessons weren't the real issue. It was the quiet erosion of confidence, theirs and mine. The uncertainty of whether the effort was going anywhere, the long pause between starting strong and seeing any sign of progress. So instead of pushing harder, I slowed us down. We broke learning into intentional steps. We named what felt challenging. We acknowledged where things felt unclear, and we celebrated moments that would have slipped by unnoticed. Across L&D conversations, the idea of micro wins is often tied to sustained engagement and belonging. In that classroom, the turning point wasn't the hard days. It was the moment we acknowledged we were in the middle mile and chose to stay present anyway. That quiet, collective choice changed how we learned together for the rest of the year. The middle mile isn't just about perseverance. It's about integration, bringing clarity, emotional steadiness, and reflective practices into the learning experience. This is where my philosophy comes in. Clarity leads to reflection, which leads to growth. First, clarity through self-reflection. Purpose begins internally. When leaders and designers do the self-work to understand their patterns, their reactions, and their values, they create learning experiences that are calmer, clearer, and more human. Clarity in ourselves reinforces clarity for others. Next, finding value in yourself and creating value for others. When we recognize our own worth, we design differently. We lead with steadier presence. We give feedback and more empathy. We build learning cultures that help people feel capable rather than evaluated. Finally, growth over perfection. Iterative development mirrors human development. Healthy learning cultures don't punish the middle mile. They expect it. They understand that progress is uneven and that missteps are part of the data that helps people grow. This week, identify where you are in a middle mile, in a project, a relationship, a habit, or a role. Ask yourself, what clarity step can I take that steadies me and strengthens how I show up for others? If this sparked a reflection, share it on LinkedIn or tag Maydwell in 5. You can also download the episode's companion for personal reflection or team discussion. This has been your Maydwell in 5 for the week of November 24th. Let's keep building learning cultures that grow with purpose, are guided by people, and informed by data.